The other thing you're going to use this positioning for is to test your dog's body condition or fatness, but we'll call it body condition because that's a little nicer. So again, you want to have your dog in this position, and it's actually really easy, and we've got a great tip for you that doesn't involve you picking up your dog, weighing yourself and your dog on your home scale, then putting the dog down and looking at the truth of what you actually weigh without the dog. It's a hassle. It's inconvenient. It doesn't even work for small dogs because those kinds of scales are not efficient over low amounts. Anyway, we got a better way for you. So here's what we do. We call it the tissue tent test. So what you do is you've got your dog standing properly, and you go to an area over the last 3 to 4 ribs, and it's about 1/3 of the way down from the top line to the abdominal, to the abdomen, bottom of the abdomen. So in this circle here that's shown in green with a blue circle around it, that's the area that you go to. And in that area, the only thing you have, if you were to look at a cross-section of the dog, is you've got its skin, you got a layer of subcutaneous fat, and then below that, you've got the ribs. So if you look in this picture, we've got a cross-section for you. Here's the skin, you got a layer of subcutaneous fat, and then you have your ribs below. So here's what you do. Just like in this picture, you use your thumb and index finger and you pinch really deeply. You got to grab all of this tissue, not just the skin, and then you pull outward. And as you do, the layer of subcutaneous fat will slip down through your fingers first. You'll feel it happens really, really quickly, so be ready to feel it. That's your layer of subcutaneous fat. And all you have to do is feel that once a week or so. And for an athlete, it should be about as thick as a piece of folded duct tape. For a breeding dog, should be the thickness of a piece of folded cooked linguine. Hopefully you all know what that feels like. And that's a way that you can test your dog every week, and you can know whether they're too fat or too thin. Now, here's the thing. You can use body condition scores. This example is the Purina body condition system that tells you ideal is a 4 or 5, but read what it says. It says ribs easily palpable without excess fat. Well, what's excess fat? I mean, how hard do you have to press to feel that you can feel the ribs? I think it's not very exact. Another thing that it says is waist easily noted, abdominal tuck evident. Well, what about dogs with different shapes? What about whippets that always have an abdominal tuck even if they're overweight? Or what about those great big barrel-shaped dogs with abundant coat like Bernese Mountain Dogs? You know, I just don't feel that. I mean, I think this might be adequate for Labrador Retrievers and other short-coated breeds, but I'll tell you what, when you get something else and you want to just look at it like this picture here, it gets pretty hard. So we feel that it's much better to just feel that layer of subcutaneous fat where you can. You know, another thing is that Purina's own studies show that if you're in this ideal weight range, your dog could have a fat level of 13 to 22%. I mean, what a huge range. So it just doesn't seem that adequate. So we like the tissue tent test because it's easy to learn and use for home monitoring once a week and vary your dog's diet depending on what you find. It requires no equipment but a thumb and index finger. It's really much better than scales because here's the thing, you guys. There's no preferred weight for your dog anyway. I mean, if your dog weighs 75 pounds, who's to say that that's more or less than he should? And even if your breed standard, for example, says that your dog should weigh 75 pounds, like maybe the Golden Retriever standard for male says that, what if you have a smaller male? My Golden Retriever is fit at 60 pounds, and he's a boy too. So I just think that it's much, much more accurate, and it's much less hassle. Here's the other thing. If your dog loses or gains weight, how can you tell whether it's muscle or fat? Well, the way that you tell is by feeling how thick that layer of subcutaneous fat is.